only does first place get their artwork displayed on the wall, but they will also get a gift card and a ribbon. We do also have ribbons for second place, third place, and honorable mention. Your art contest piece is a wonderful way for you to be able to show your unique creativity. God blessed each of you with very different kinds of creativity, and this is your opportunity to show off your different skills and talents. It's not about winning. What I hope and pray is that you put forth your best effort and you are proud of your artwork when it is done. Remember that in whatever you do, you give glory to God.
A panel of judges will be deciding first, second, and third place winners and honorable mention. They will be deciding using three things: creativity, craftsmanship, and completeness. Creativity is when your artwork is unique, well thought out, and is very detailed. Craftsmanship is the quality and neatness and effort shown in your work. And completeness is just making sure that the entire space of your paper is filled to the edges of the paper.
Let's go over a few of the guidelines. You should have all received a paper with the guidelines that you can take home and read through later. Most of these guidelines are self-explanatory, but I wanted to go over just a few of them with you. So the first one I have to talk about is number 3. This one should be obvious. Topics that are not appropriate for school should not be included in your design. Make sure your design glorifies God. And then I always have to talk about this one, number 4. So our school tries very hard to avoid plagiarism because it is copying and it is cheating. Plagiarism is the act of taking someone else's idea and passing it off as your own. So no copyrighted or trademarked items. This includes logos, brands, and characters. So let's unpack this a little bit more. It should be a review for those of you that are older. Copyrighted and trademarked materials. So these are examples of logos. And immediately when you look at them, you know what company they belong to. Someone else created these designs. Same thing with these. So this is not the type of stuff that you are allowed to include in your design. Come up with your own. And this extends also to characters. And it doesn't even have to be a well-known character. Anything that another person created and designed should not be used. It's not allowed. However, a lot of times artists kind of mesh together different ideas to create something original. So take a look at this example. This is what the artist came up with in the end, and they started with these 3 reference images. So they took bits and pieces from different sources, changed it up a bit, and combined them into a new way to create something new and original. So if you look at this, they were inspired by this shield, the outfit on this person, and then the pose of these characters, and kind of meshed it all together to create something new and original. And that's what art is, taking an idea, combining it with other ideas in your head, and making your own unique idea. However, you are allowed to use photographs, whether you bring in your own photograph or find something on Google. So I had a photograph that I took of this bowl of fruit. Yes, it is fake fruit, but I still used it to look at and help me draw. And then later I went back in and painted and added other details. Most of us, including me, do not have photographic memories. If you asked me to draw a tiger, I would have to look at a picture of a tiger to draw it. Don't be ashamed of that. Use your resources to help you draw. Find a photograph. I do also have a small selection of how to draw books in my room. You can also find these on Google if you search for it. Again, though, avoid copyrighted items. Okay, let's go back to the guidelines sheet. At the very bottom, it goes over materials that you may use. Just keep in mind the tempera paints, those are those thicker paints that is only allowed for 3rd grade and older. Then the last thing I wanted to talk about, scissors and glue. You can use to glue on small pieces of magazines, newspapers, paper scraps, and so on. And so what I mean by that is that I've got some examples here. You can actually use tiny bits of paper and glue it together to create something that looks like a mosaic or a collage. And it can be very beautiful without having to necessarily draw or paint the whole thing. What I don't want you doing is gluing on like a big chunk of paper. That's not okay. I should also mention too, I'm not allowing oil pastels and chalk as art materials because when these are all in a pile, they could smudge against someone else's art piece and ruin it. So that's why we don't use it. Good luck, guys. Can't wait to see what you do.